Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Capricorn December 11th, 2022. There is some tendency to overdo things or to push your limits early today. You're more sensitive to processes that feel dull or meaningless, which can stir some restlessness. While you can certainly use this energy to make changes, for now, you might see things in extremes, and it's better to pace and moderate yourself. If you aim to hold off on decisions now, then it's a good time to stretch your imagination and consider new possibilities. Also today, Venus begins its transit of your solar 12th house, where it will influence until January 2nd. You might yearn for more meaning in your love life if it's missing, or you could be uncertain about your feelings for the time being. Looking back before you move forward makes the most sense and is a good use of this cycle. It might be a quiet or private period for love relationships, and it could also be a time when you take particular pleasure in your private life. Digesting recent experiences can be a rewarding process. You're more in touch with your compassion, which can draw you to people who need help. Benefits can come through behind-the-scenes efforts. A social and sweet day lies ahead for you. Our two benefics in the sky will smile upon each other, ensuring a more festive and fun vibe. In fact, if you try to focus on putting your nose to the grindstone at work, you'll feel like you're spinning your wheels and getting nowhere fast. Cut out of work early if you can and make some exciting plans with your partner or crush to step out on the town and do something unique that you've never done before. A live experience? A concert? Trying out a wine or whiskey tour? These could all provide a nice change of pace which you will enjoy tremendously. A friend may even introduce you to someone new if you're single. Do you hold your professional dreams and work friends to a higher value? It might be time to be a little more confident with your commitments as Venus in Sagittarius squares Jupiter in Pisces. You might find yourself somewhat overcommitted, but you may also realize that all of your arrangements are incredibly fulfilling and valuable. While you may be somewhat overwhelmed, you can at least recognize that there is a lot going for your career path. However, if you need to scale back, do so when Venus enters Capricorn so that you can focus on a few things. The moon has not only returned for its last visit to your work sector for the year, but its last while Jupiter is still in your income sector. The planet of luck and expansion has another 11 days to both exploit any accessible income potential and to leave you with an updated sense of what's possible, with the moon's intuitive read on work and job matters helping with that. You are able to intuitively sense what's needed in a given situation. If you are in the habit of preparing meals for yourself and your family, you are probably naturally gifted at preparing healthy meals. To expand on this gift, you might learn some healthy techniques found in vegetarian or even vegan cookbooks. The perspectives contained in these texts may be new to you, but what you take away will enhance your experience of cooking and eating. Use this day to help you tend to the tasks that are not quite finished. Wrapping things up and bringing an end to projects is a lot easier with the essence of this day. This effective tool helps you to see things through until completion, making plenty of room on your table for new endeavors. Don't leave things hanging. Push on. Just as Venus joins Mercury in Pluto in a nostalgic and reflective part of your chart, and with it bringing a desire to slow down, the moon has returned for its last visit to your work sector for the year. Fortunately, the two aren't mutually exclusive. As the moon makes its first visit since the sun left your career sector and the last before Jupiter leaves your income sector, there is a lot to mull over. Pulling back in order to make time to hear yourself think will make it easier to process a download of information from across the income, work, and career fronts. When the moon left your romantic sector yesterday, it not only wrapped up its last visit for the year but a full moon that will have ongoing implications. With Mars not only staying on but with his romantic passions and fighting spirit even more fired up and in retrograde motion and the doors open to the past and second chances, there are now fewer old excuses to hide behind. Our eyes in the sky. Relationship tension could form this morning as a square between Venus and Jupiter takes center stage in the cosmos. You might feel as though your partner has been more self-involved lately and your needs aren't being met. This aspect could also make it difficult to find inspiration on a personal level, and the temptation to sleep in will be real. Try to watch your triggers right now, and avoid being reactive if you're faced with internal or external conflict. Full of energy and courage, you need not ask for better conditions to achieve your ambitions. Proceed with caution as you easily get sidetracked by intricate details that appear to be interesting and distract you. Approach things in a level-headed and sensible way and avoid taking too long to reach a successful outcome by concentrating on important tasks. Making plans for the future, you adopt a position that increases the strengthening of family ties. Your relations happily accept this and support you firmly in your plans. The consolidation of personal relationships continues in your love life. You get close to a certain someone, and long-lasting bond results from the well-meaning advances you make. Plans you try to implement require you to focus attention. More than ever, it's important to accept that you cannot change certain things and you don't allow your disappointment to stand in your way. Instead, concentrate on things which lie ahead. With the correct amount of patience and persistence, even if it takes longer, you reach your goal. As we head into the afternoon, the energy begins to lighten significantly, and an opposition between the Moon and Mercury gives us the opportunity to communicate and sort out our feelings. With its emotional ups and downs, this day could feel like a roller coaster, but any issues that arise during the day should resolve by nightfall. You'll likely feel exhausted by day's end due to the lunar tension, so head to bed early and get some much-needed rest. Finally, Venus enters Capricorn tonight, making us work hard for love and money. Roll up your sleeves and dig in. In the morning, Venus in Sagittarius squares off with Jupiter in Pisces, causing us to throw caution to the wind. Avoid putting yourself in harm's way via undue optimism. In our good mood, we might think, what's the worst that can happen? And most of the time, the worst does not in fact come to pass. We may simply get stuck negotiating a few uncomfortable or cringy interactions. Yet, if the stars misalign, we risk doing damage to our relationships through a lack of self-restraint or empathy. We don't have the best awareness of our limits, and our idealism can place us in vulnerable positions. By exercising moderation, we should be able to handle this influence just fine. Doubts appear to have dissipated, and you're busy moving forward. Use this newfound energy to start new projects and make important decisions. Since everything is taking care of itself, you feel totally at ease with what you're doing and able to be effective and enjoy success. Don't get involved in too many projects. Otherwise, you risk becoming exhausted. Mostly because of your open and friendly conduct, people provide you with positive feedback that you're likely to find extremely helpful. They notice how instinctively you provide them with the support and encouragement they need and naturally return the help received, so an atmosphere of mutual support develops, which is beneficial for everybody. Following this, the Cancer moon opposes Mercury in Capricorn, clouding our judgment. We believe we are approaching a problem rationally, yet our perspective is biased and our emotions are erratic. Positions that we vigorously defend one minute may be swapped out the next, with no explanation. The way we vacillate in our logic will be frustrating to our conversational partners, and we may not even realize we are doing this dance. Instead of wasting time trying to convince another to adopt your position, put your energy into managing work or routines.